And we have finally managed to get in, and
we're
going to start this game. Good luck and good game being exchanged.
Countdown started.
And the countdown has begun. We're going to load this map. Players are going to get ready to do battle. And right off, we're going to take a look at the Terran base.
Looks like Nyokin's purple spawned at the north, and Slog is at the right.
Getting those gathering units produced very early. We're going to see a lot of gathering units produced at the start of the match.
I'm thinking that I'm really wondering whether or not the Terran's going to wall in this case. You know, in Paranoid Android, the ramp is very large, so any kind of rush early is hard to block off with SCVs or something like that.
So what can he do to defend against that, actually, just starting off?
Well, generally speaking, Terran's a race that is very fragile and delicate early, so what they normally tend to do is actually wall off with their first two supply depots and then a barracks. And it's basically impossible for Protoss to get into. And normally what Protoss has to do is attempt to break down the wall early or, you know, build up a better economy. And the only way Terran can get out of that is by lifting off his barracks.
We have a first pylon spawn, and we're going to continue scouting with that Protoss probe.
This is pretty common for Protoss to scout this early, because if he is to scout any later, he probably won't get into Terran's base in time, since it will be walled off.
Taking a look around the map, trying to find his opponent. We also have a supply depot going up on the left ramp here.
We'll have to see if this probe attempts to attack. Yes, it is. It's going to attack the SCV. Now, SCVs have more life than probes, so basically, what we're going to see is him trying to run around, and yeah, see, he's trying to stop that barracks from starting. He doesn't want that wall in to get up. He's doing an excellent job.
That barracks already.
All right, there we go. The barracks is up. Importantly, though, the barracks is not in the desired position. You notice it's up, actually sitting next to the supply depot. It wants to be down and to the right a little bit. And what that means in about the next minute here is he's going to have to make his first Marine lift off the barracks and land it, in which case we're probably going to see the probe trying to interfere with that again, as long as it stays alive.
And probe running around the mineral fields of the Terran base. He's got an SCV chasing him, trying to take him out to keep him from seeing what's going on. The barracks is almost finished just beside that supply depot.
It looks like right now, as I saw earlier, it looks like he only had 2 in gas, which is quite interesting. I wonder if he's going to put a third one in after the factory completes, because most StarCraft players normally have at least 3 to 4.
We have a gateway up for the Protoss at the moment. We have an assimilator on that Vespene geyser, and lots of production inside of the base of the Protoss.
It's also important to know that Slug is a representative of Team TAG, Trademark Gamers. I don't believe Nyokin, though, is on a team, but these are both 2 very strong and notable players. And I believe whoever plays, whoever wins this will be playing most likely Fraz, I believe. All right.
More supply depots going up by that barracks. Barracks not producing any units at the moment. We have the first factory going down.
And you can see the probe over here. It's going to try to do some damage. It was harassing that first SCV that was making the factory. Now we got the Marine out. Looks like he's making a second one. That Marine's basically going to try to kill that probe. I'm curious about whether or not that wall in actually will stop the Zealot. Because if you look over here, there's a Zealot coming up, attacking the ramp. All right, he's attacking a depot right now. We're going to see if... all right, see, yeah, there, he goes right through. Yeah, he walled it incorrectly. That's going to be a big... it's going to be a painful blow for him. All right, and we have a bike making right now instead of the normal factory add-on. He's microing his units pretty well, trying to keep the Marines from dying to the extremely strong Zealot, which could kill them very easily.
And he's just taking those Marines and he's running them around his base to buy some time to get more infantry units on the ground to help take care of that Zealot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He's basically trying to stay alive right now so that his bike could get out and come in time to kill it. Now we see he's walling in correctly, but things are going according to plan for Protoss. He stalled the time for the tank. The tank is needed basically to kill the Dragoon.
And that Vulture is going to finish that Dragoon off here in just a moment. The Dragoon
no, he got out in time. He got out in time. Very good.
Just enough time. He had 18 life left. That shield is going to regenerate and help to protect that unit. And the Vulture being repaired by the SCV of the Terran here. The barracks was lifted momentarily. He may have thought it was going to do some damage. He didn't want to lose that building, and then he just set it back down. Currently nothing being produced We have had a machine shop added onto the factory.
Obviously, there's probably a tank building in there. I'm curious to see if he's going to... he basically has two options right now. He's either going to get a starport, and he's going to try to go for some kind of tank drop to try to harass. Personally, I think it's very predictable, but it doesn't mean it's not good. And there's also a possibility that he might be getting a command center. We'll have to see.
Cybernetics core down for the Protoss.
Notice he's upgrading range, which means he's probably going to be using a lot of Dragoons.
And spawning in a second gateway. So we have two infantry buildings spawning in for the Protoss, and he's going to be pumping out those zealots, trying to do some early heavy damage with a machine gun kind of attack.
I think what we can pretty much count on is a lot of Dragoons by Protoss early game, trying to keep some kind of containment onto the Terran, and the Terran's probably just going to be kind of turtling, so to speak, is what most StarCraft players refer to, which is going to be sitting inside of his base. He's going to be trying to building up a strong economy, and then he's eventually going to try to do the classic Terran push.
We've got a siege tank out, a second siege tank, in fact, for the Terran players here.
We have a command center also building, like I predicted, inside the Terran's base, which means he's going to be doing some kind of fast expand. Oh, and there's an engineering bay. All right, this is very, very by-the-book game by Terran so far. Protoss does have the option of doing a shuttle rush, which is fairly common here. We'll have to see, though.
So Daniel's doing a good job inside of the Terran base. He's playing everything by the book, nice, solid, and secure, and it's a tactic that we've seen several times played here in StarCraft.
You're absolutely right, yes. He did get put behind a little bit, but, you know, he controlled his units well. He's got siege mode up, and he's probably gonna put the tower right where those tanks are. And, yeah, he's going to be in good shape.
He's got those tanks down, trying to protect his...
expansion, yeah.
The ramp that he's left open against the Protoss. And now he's moving his second command center that he's built.
Now notice that in the Protoss space, the Protoss, realizing that he cannot do damage right now because of Dan's secure position, is attempting to counter by expanding himself.
A couple Dragoons being produced, and they are sitting, waiting in queue on the ramp of the Protoss base of Andrew here.
I'm curious to see whether or not he is actually going to double expand, the Protoss player will. That's pretty common because Protoss is a race where you don't want to be equal with Terran in expansions because Terran units, particularly tanks, Goliaths, bikes, are just very strong against Protoss units.
Daniel already having lots of SCVs over by the mineral field of his expansion base, and I hear some damage going on at the moment. I'm trying to find the battle.
I think what happened here is he scouted with his barracks, or actually his engineering bay. This is pretty common because these positions are both very close and Terran buildings can fly. They have a lot of life, you know, so you might as well just fly in here and try to take a few peeks, see what's going on. Obviously, he saw a robotics bay, so he knows that he might be getting observers, he'll be getting a shuttle, so he's going to take that knowledge and use it, extrapolate it, and basically just try to counter it.
And indeed, that observer has come into play. He's just kind of scouting around the map now. He hasn't really taken a look at what's going on inside the base of Daniel. Daniel's got a couple missile turrets up around his base to protect against some taking a few peeks here by the Protoss, and he's overall doing a great job. Got a few more Terran factories going down.
We're going to see a lot of these. Yeah, he's going to be going for a very mech-based build, which is very common. He's got 2 factories right now with 2 add-ons, which means we're going to see primarily tanks at the start until he produces about, I would guess, about a dozen bikes and does a very typical Terran push.
That observer has worked its way in, so Andrew is aware of the tactic that Daniel is currently taking with his Terran team. We're going to take a look back over in the Protoss base, and we have a third gateway going down.
It looks like we're going to have 5 pretty soon. If you notice at the very bottom corner of the map, Protoss has taken up another expansion down here. This is, like I said, Protoss is going to have to double expand. He's going to have to do something to keep ahead of the Terran's economy. I mean, this is not, you know, a comfortable situation for a lot of Protoss players to be in. Personally, I hate it when Terran fast expands versus me. You know, if they got good macro, they can just outdo me sometimes.
So 6 gateways, and the Protoss is definitely going to be producing some Dragoons here.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of Dragoons, and then we're going to see a Citadel get thrown up pretty soon, is my bet. And he's going to research Zealot legs, because Zealots are very weak versus tanks and bikes early because they're so slow and they're melee attackers. Any good Terran with good micro basically just out-controls him. So he's probably going to be putting his Zealots in a shuttle early to drop them on sieged tanks.
So we have 7 Dragoons making their way up to the main base of Daniel here, controlling these Terran, and we're seeing just a little probe here over by the left upper
This probe is probably put here to spot for any sooner expansions. You notice that probe can, of course, see the expansion to the left, but if the probe moves north by just a few squares, he can also see the other expansion and see if if Terran's going to try to expand again, in which case Protoss would counter and expand again.
Lots of vultures here that Daniel is using to move towards the lower half of the map. He's headed towards that
we
third
might see some
expansion
harassment here. All right, looks like he's got a Dragoon here to guard that ramp. He's going to put some mines down. Can this Dragoon hold it? This is not looking good for this Dragoon. All right, the Dragoon's down. He's going to go inside. He's going to see if he can't kill some probes. This is very, very dangerous for Protoss right now. He does not want to lose these probes.
And they are being destroyed left and right. Dragoons coming in to support. Those vultures moving in.
I don't see an observer. I hope he's got an observer. These Dragoons are going to take some serious damage.
Attacking the nexus of Andrew at the moment. He's got those Dragoons trying to take out the vultures. Daniel down to 3 vultures now. He backs one off, trying to keep it alive.
He's trying to hide that one, but he knows where it is.
It has absolutely been found, and a great job.
That served its purpose perfectly. I mean, all he's trying to do is he's trying to put him behind. He knows that Protoss double expanded, so what he wants to do is he wants to get up. He wants to just waste Protoss's money. I mean, he killed, I looked like maybe 8 probes or something like that. That was probably half of the guy's money in there.
A lot of vultures lost by Daniel, too, though. I mean, he came in with an army of 7 strong, and he's now down to none that he just harassed with.
But, you know, that's the beauty about vultures, is that they're cheap and they're very cost-effective. I mean, generally speaking, vultures don't kill units by themselves unless they're weaker units that are there to get picked off. It's the tanks that are going to do the damage. He just went in there basically to do some harassment. It looks like he's pretty confident now that he's going to be able to really hurt his army because he put his economy behind. Here come the tanks right now.
Here you go, just like you said, they're trying to protect this bridge. He set a few spider mines on the bridge to see when they come across. We have 6 siege tanks now making their way down to that third
notice in the middle of the map, it looks like Protoss is trying to counterattack. He's opting to not save his expansion. He's going to try to counterattack. Oh, looks like the observer might be gone. This observer might be gone. This is going to be... all right, that's not good for him.
Observer taken down. These Dragoons are definitely leaving their mark.
All right, at the bottom of the base, bottom of the map, there's a serious push going on here. All right, he's got to move those probes. These probes are going to die. This is exactly what Terran wants.
Using those siege tank, he's got half of those in siege mode, and the other half are mobile, as he is now setting down solid, taking down those probes one after another, and the Nexus is going to go down next.
This is not looking good, although take a look up here, check this out. Protoss counterattacking, some serious damage going on. Most of the Terran's defenses are on low ground. This is not good for Terran. If Terran loses his expansion, I don't know if he can come back. This might hurt very
Several
badly.
Zealots, several Dragoons coming in, taking down the SCVs of Daniel. Lots of damage taking place here. Dragoons moving up the ramp.
The question now is, can he kill this command center? He's going to back off. He's going to start. Yeah, he's targeting the command center. I don't know if the command center can make it out of this. He might try to lift. Right, he's going to try to sack some SCVs. He's going to try to come over here and repair.
Dragoons switching fire to those SCVs, taking them out so he can refocus back onto the command center. Command center back into the green zone on the life bar.
As you can see, the Dragoons are pushing back slowly. Siege tanks are sieging up, trying to force Dragoons out. Terran counter-pushing at the bottom right of the map, bottom right middle, I suppose. Coming over here, he's going to try to go around. There's a small ridge over here to the right that Terran can normally push through. Right over here in this region. Looks like he's blocked it off with pylons. It's a pretty common move. I happen to use that one as well. This is a very interesting game going on right now because both players had excellent economies, and instead of opting to defend each other, they basically opted to try to kill each other off. So this is very intense.
We're seeing 2 different battles being played across the map at the same time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And here he's going to lose a Templar Archives. That is not good for Protoss. This is just turning out to be a very exciting match. We have Vulture Bikes coming down here. I don't think these things are going to do that much damage.
The Dragoons laying their mark on these vultures of Daniel here. They have the...
He's going to lose the command center. He's going to lose it.
Command center down into the yellow. Several bars left into the red. They're going to be able to finish it off in time as these vultures try to come in and save it. A last-ditch effort, and it falls.
It's gone. Now, mind you, neither of these guys really have working expansions. I think we better check their mains. It looks like there's not a lot of minerals here, and if we take a look at Terran, there's about the same. Not a lot for either. It's almost as if we've gone back in time now. I mean, they're both back in the Stone Age. I mean... they're going to have to rebuild their entire economies. This is very interesting.
So the minerals almost running out. Both expansions nearly annihilated of both players. And we're back at the starting point, and their minerals almost expired.
That's absolutely right. We got to see, does Terran still have anything left down here? He has these few tanks. Protoss is going to take anything he's got left. He's got to try to kill these tanks. He wants to save his expansion. Terran coming down here with more bikes. He's got to try to reinforce this. Excellent micro by Terran. These Dragoons are going to back off.
and there is not enough firepower with those Dragoons to fend off the attack that Daniel's about to make with those Terran units.
You're absolutely right. You know, I saw earlier that he lost his shuttle in the initial counterattack. I'm pretty sure he wishes he had a shuttle right now so that he could drop some zealots onto those siege tanks.
Slowly leapfrogging those siege tanks in, and taking one unit out and moving the next two in front of them, and making his way up to the main base of the Protoss. We got a shuttle.
Oh, there's that shuttle. That's exactly what I was talking about. Now he's going to fill this up with 4 zealots instead of Dragoons, because zealots basically do more damage up close than Dragoons do. Also, you can put more zealots in a shuttle than you can Dragoons. Dragoons are going to back off. It looks to me right now like Protoss is in some hot water. I mean, this is not a situation I would be comfortable being in. These bikes are going to be able to possibly defend this top. Nope, absolutely not. The tanks are gone.
Both siege tanks lost. Moving on to the other 2 siege tanks, working their way
No
up.
Nexus there anymore, notice. If Protoss has to muster up some money and try to rebuild that Nexus. Okay, bike's going by, bike's going by. He's going to try to kill off the remaining probes. GG, good game. It's over. It looks like Nyokin won. Excellent play by Terran back there.
That was a very fast map. Lots of action being played, both top and bottom by both players.
You're absolutely right, yes.
It was a good game all around, and definitely well played.
You know, I thought for a second back there, I thought Protoss was going to be able to pull it off, but after Protoss lost his Nexus during that attack, he just didn't have the money to rebuild it. You know, one of the situations where something like that happens, where you both kill off each other's expansions, is that, you know, Terran can lift off his main command center or something like that, and some poor